Alright, and we're back with a big one, the all-important match for Delial. This is for the Open GB, a monthly. It looks like he has a very side-to-side hand. That might be pretty exploitable. We have a lot of 8s going up. Does he have anything to punish that? That 3-8-5-5 or that 5-7-7-3 could be a problem. He does not like his hand. Sorry, typing at him. I'm terrible at this stuff. Anyways, yeah, so 8-7-3-3 or 8-7-2-5 and 7 is a huge threat. And this looks quite good for me just on the hands. We'll see what Delial does. Current standings of the tournament I have up but can't show you. Delial is in second on a pace of about 2 points a game, which means he has 4 games to get 4 points. It's a 3-1-0 scoring system, so he is likely to move past Akiyama into first in the near future. He does have a higher win rate so far. Basically, they have the same record, but Akiyama has 4 extra ties. In third is Doom Train, in fourth is Cool Spot, in fifth is Turds on a very good record, averaging a little over 2 per game. And I am currently in sixth, but I'm averaging 2.5 per game. And so I think I'm in really good shape if I can maintain. But I do have lots of great players left. I have not played Deli. Cool Spot's in fourth. I have not played Cool Spot. I have not played Turds in fifth. I have not played Sergio in eighth. I have not played Vialva in ninth. Also, Tezuka is probably going to start racking up wins and have not played him yet either. Speaking of Tezuka, we have another game we could be watching. I passively predicted 6-8-3-3-3. Tezuka had a really bad hand here, really tough situation. Turd started with the safe 8-8 corner in 7. Tezuka attempted to complicate in 6. I was expecting Turds to go in 4, but he went 7-6, 7-5, and 8, which makes a bunch of sense because 8-1-2-8 is now a powerhouse in 5. And Tezuka can never go in 9 himself without getting comboed. And he didn't really have a way to set himself up to go in 9, right? He had no move to go in 2 that gives him a combo back in 3. He does have the combo in 5, so it's possible Turds doesn't really want to go in 9 either, but there's probably not a rush. For instance, 4-2-8-8 in 3 might just be really good. It's hard for... Tezuka has no cards that are good in multiple spots. Really bad hand. This feels like one of those games that was a loss out of the opening, or out of the hands. Speaking of which, I hope mine is as well. But in the meantime, in other excitement, I'm also sort of passively in the background watching the first round, or one of the first round matches of the Speed Chess Championship, because my boy Leveronian is playing. And he's playing Daniil Dubov, who's great. Piggy had a chess phase, and I believe his favorite player was Daniil Dubov, who's this wonderfully creative, offbeat, just good thinker. And it's always fun to see him play. So that's a cool matchup. Aronian currently up 4.5, 2.5. I'm sure every listener of this video will immediately go see what happened in this championship, because it's, of course, very exciting to you. Yeah, this looks very tough for Tezuka. I would expect Turds to go in 3, maybe 4. I don't really think there's a good way to play in 1. And I would expect 5 and 9 to be left open. So I would expect 3 or 4 in that game. Back in our featured match, the game against Delial. Some players, I'm very weak left. So I think some players would kind of automatically play 1-8, 4-8, and 5. I don't think that's so great, though, because all the recaptures have that 7 out in 7. And I have 8-7-2-5 to cover that. So I have to be pretty careful about my right weakness, but I do think my hand should have the advantage. What card did he pick up? It wasn't one of the side-to-sides. Interesting. All right, so we got to figure out how to deal with this. He only has 1 recapture and 2, and I can combo it back, so I'm immediately drawn to just taking. I do not have a capture from 2 myself, but if I did, he could not capture back. So that's interesting. Doesn't look like I have a good way to set up a capture in 2 from 5. It could go in 3. 3 has some ways. 8, 4, 7, 5 and 3 would set up a threat. Nicely, I have a combo in 4. But I kind of think I just want to take this. 8, 4, 7, 5, not the way. The problem with the other 8, 7, the 8, 7 XXs is if I take with either of those, he could potentially just go 7. But 8, 7, 3, 3, actually. 8, 7, 3, 3 appeals. Because then he can't go 7 with 6, 7, 3, 7. I can combo it. I don't give him 5 at the end, so that should be good for me. So if I go 8, 7, 3, 3, and 4, I also don't give a combo in 5 if he goes in 2. I'm going to reload because the timer's usually a little off. It isn't here. So 8, 7, 3, 3 in 4. I think 3 is also a good square to look at, attacking the side I can't normally attack and directing the game upwards, but I do like forcing lines. So 8, 7, 3, 3 in 4. If he goes 1, 8, 4, 8, and 2, I have to imagine 8, 4, 7, 6 in 3 is really good for me. I also have the plus in 5, so that looks just very strong for me. If he plays in 7, he basically has to not capture it, or play 7, 3, 8, 3, which I kind of assume I'll have tools against. One would be, I could probably play... I don't have a good way to set up 5 there. That's interesting. We'll come back to that. So 7, 3, 8, 3, and 7. But then, if the game sort of fills up in a block, his side-to-side cards are probably pretty poor. That 6, 7, 3, 7 plays well against my my downward 7s. It's hard to be too afraid of stuff there. Can he go 8 and set something up? I was going to check that earlier, but sort of forgot about it. 3, 8, 5, 5, and 8. I'm just going to block 7 there. They have the same in 5. That combos a few things, but I have a combo back in 2, kind of. It is the same. I don't think this is very worrisome. So other options. There's 5, 7, 7, 3 in 3. This is a pretty serious move because I threaten to go in 2, which would make 1 and 3 both safe. And if they block 2, I do have that plus wall in 4. And it's very hard for them. I guess 7, 3, 8, 3 gives them the combo back there. So they could go 7, 3, 8, 3. That already locks in a card of mine, though. But I don't love my follow-ups. I think something like 5, 7, 7, 3, and 3 is a good idea. But I really like the look of just taking. Just take. There's a bunch of things that can happen here on my other screen, so you can keep looking at this. I'm going to check in on the Turds game. Turds does occupy 9 immediately. Interesting. We'll bring that up. Which means he presumably calculated this out. If Tezuka goes in 3, Turds has 8, 1, 2, 8, and 5, and he's got far too many cards locked in. If Tezuka goes in 5, is Turds up enough? I think Tezuka must block 5. Turds presumably is looking to combo back. The problem is it flips everything. It flips too many things. Yeah, this looks good for turds, because 1877 and 5 has the same, but turds is 6-8, 6-3, and 3. I had thought of that as recapturing 2 if needed, capturing 2, recapturing 6, but not also capturing 9 and 8. So it looks like turds calculated this out very nicely. Alright, Tezuka goes 4. This seems hopeless because it is hopeless. Yeah, Tezuka just had a horrible random. Not much he could do there. But this does mean Tezuka will have a loss on the resume, which is good for me because until I lose this game you're watching now, I will not have a loss on the resume, and that can make my ego even bigger than it is because I will be the only player without a loss. Of course, if I had just had the random Tezuka head, I would have lost that too. You know, this is this is not a game that seemed very savable. I did like the look of move in 3s. I like being specific. This seemed like a forcing way to play that appealed to me. 5-7-7, 3 and 2 is often my follow-up, I think. 8-4-7-6 really dominates the 1-8-4-8 in his hand. And 7-3-8-3 and 7 was one of my main moves for him, but hopefully we're getting that out of his hand. 3-8, 5-5, and 8 was the other move I thought was quite plausible for him. But it seems hard for that to be too bad for me, because after I go 7 and he goes presumably 5, maybe he can hold off, but it's hard for him to hold off because I really do have a threat of going in 5 myself. So the only ways to hold off are moves like 6-7, 3-7, and 3, which sets up 2 as a secondary threat but uses up the card that's a threat for 5. So it's really hard for him to make multiple threats. So if he goes 8 and I go 7, I think he's kind of obliged to take 5 immediately. And then I think I have a pleasant choice between a capture and safety in 9, which probably isn't winning, or just going in 2, which I think is a pretty good chance of being winning. I think the problem is basically the 7-3-8-3 actually ends up being dead in their hand in that line, and it's a really bad card to be dead in their hand because it is their entire up-down force. So I think we're in good shape. This does mean Turds is putting up a really good score. I think he's currently 7-3-1, which should put him on 22 points. 24 points. Yeah, 24 points. With 9 played, he's averaging a bit over 2 a game. Delial does go for 7-3-8-3 and 7. We did think this was the main line. And what are we going to do about it? So I think the obvious thing to do is 8-7, 2-5, and 8. And the critical thing I think to check is, does he have a big setup in 6? He does not. The next thing to check is, can he go 2 and set something nasty up there? He cannot. So 8-7, 2-5, and 8. If he blocks 5, it's just so hard for that not to be losing for him. If he had an 8 up, it might not be, because the 1-8-4-8 might be able to plus all my sideways force. if there were more 8s coming up from his hand. But, okay. So 8, 7, 2, 5, and 8. Hard to make a move there for him. If he captures from 9, it is 5, 5. And I might not have a great play there. That's probably the key line. If he doesn't capture from 5, I think I have, from 9, I think I have, if he plays a non-capture in 9, I think I can go 5 with a good position. I think that would be very promising there. So I think 8, 7, 2, 5, and 8, 1, 8, 4, 8, and 9. I'm glad I have the 5, 7, 7, 3, because otherwise that 3, 8, 5, 5 might dominate my whole hand going up. I can also block 2 immediately, but I can't really create a great threat there. So I'm not too inspired to do that. I think 8, 7, 2, 5, and 8, 1, 8, 4, 8, and 9 is the main line. And unless I think there's a chance that's losing for me, I should probably just play it and calculate it when I see it. Because unless that can be a loss for me, it'll be 5, 5. And I will probably block 2. I might play 6, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure. He never is much against my 5, 3, 7, 7. So for instance, if I go 5, 3, 7, 7, and 6 there, I lead 6, 4. If they capture with 3, 8, 5, 5, they tie. I was thinking if they capture with 6, 7, 3, 7 from 5, they don't tie. So that's not going to be a win for me. All right, so I definitely am not going to have a win there. I could come close to losing, actually, in that line. Huh. All these 8s up are not doing what I need them to do. But I do think I have to play 8, 7, 2, 5, 8. Can I follow up if they go 9 with 5, 7, 7, 3, 5? They can't actually take it. But I think they again set up a top side-to-side sweeper. Yeah. So can I go 2? I guess I have to block one of the top 2 squares to have a chance of winning. I'll still have a good side-to-side sweeper. I'm going to refresh to make sure I'm not way off on the time count. And I think I will play it. I don't think it can go super wrong. But I think 1, 8, 4, 8, and 9 looks like a tie. Because I can't really play 6 because I give up my side to side that gives me wins in some lines. I can't play 6 if I want to win, I mean. So 1, 8, 4, 8, 9. I think at this point probably playing something like 8, 4, 7, 5, and 2. They then, if they block 5, so notably they can't take my card in 2 from 5. If they block 5, they have to do so with 6, 7, 3, 7. But 5, 7, 7, 3, and 6 at the end is just a tie because they capture the card in 2. Yeah, I think he's done it. I think he's done it. I think he's found a way to hold this. And maybe even I have to be careful on the next move. being informed the games are going to get wiped today. So I really have to make sure I've captured every game I'm going to want for my records. It is weird to have a position where I can have like 2 locked-in cards, play a 3rd safe card, and just have nothing off it. But I think we're headed towards a tie unless I've missed something big. There's never 1, 8, 4, 8, and 2. I still just combo the hell out of it. But I think Delial's played this game really nicely. I think took a tough random and found a way where the L's weren't too bad. I wonder if I would have done better with a move in 3, because my main instincts were 3 or 4, and I thought 4 was good against basically everything but what he played, and even there I thought this probably should lead to some pressure, but I think he actually gave me very little in really nice fashion. Oops. What just happened on your screen? I don't know. You're seeing the Turds Tezuka game. We don't need to see that anymore. We'll close that window. We'll come back to the Deli game. So I should make sure I have the Turds game input. He played 7, 6, 7, 5, and 8. Tezuka played 6, 8, 3, 3, and 2. Turds played 4, 2, 8, 8, and 9. Tezuka played 6, 8, 4, 7 in 4. And how did it finish? 1, 5, 3. Just making sure I have the games, because when they're wiped, we lose all history. Which is fine. Gotta save, server space and whatnot. But means today's the big day. I was wondering if this was going to happen soon, because there had been no wipes since we came back, and it used to be it would get wiped every 10,000 or so games, and as you can not see, but if you could, we're at almost 30,000. So, alright, he picks up 1, 8, 4, 8. I think he's going to be going in 9. Eight. He's going to play 1, 8, 4, 8, and 9. He's done it. And I think we're headed for a tie. But let's go through moves. 5, 7, 7, 3, and 6. I take a 6-4 lead. If they go 6, 7, 3, 7 in 5, they tie at 5, 5. I then combo with 8, 4, 7, 6, and 2. I win. If they go 3, 8, 5, 5, and 5, they make it 5, 5. I can capture something. They capture back. We have a tie. But I'm going to keep calculating because I want to make sure I have a tie, right? I don't want to get to the end of my time and not have any tying lines that I remember, even though I'm confident this position is a tie. If they go 3, 8, 5, 5, and 2, I win on the spot. Again, I'm calculating if I go 5, 7, 7, 3, and 6. If they go 6, 7, 3, 7, and 2, I win on the spot. If they go 6, 7, 3, 7 in 3, then I have to go in 2 with a 7 down. 7 plus 3 is 10, 7 plus 5 is 12, 8 plus 5 is 13, 8 plus 8 plus 3 is 11, 10, 11, 12, 13. They won't have any combos at the end. That will be a tie, but it'll be a little scary. If they go 3, 8, 5, 5, and 3, they lose because I block 5. Okay, so 5, 7, 7, 3, and 6, definitely a tie. Now we look at other moves. Can we get away with doing something creative by being fancy and going in 6 with another card? I do not think so. I do not think so. What if we go in 2? 5, 7, 7, 3, and 2. They play 6-7-3-7 in 5, and I must go in 3 to tie, right? Can they play anywhere else? They could go 3-8-5-5 in... They could go 3-8-5-5 in 6 there. 13-11... 14-12... Doesn't seem like it gets them anything. I don't think I have moves in 3. I don't really think I have moves in 5. I think we're just headed towards a tie. 5-7, 7-3, and 2 seems the more fun tie, but I should make sure it actually does tie. There's also moves like 8-4, 7-5, and 2. Why did I dismiss that? I think because it's just a tie. Because my recaptures are never high enough numbers out facing. So, okay. I think 5-7, 7-3, and 6, because that's the move I've guaranteed to myself as a tie. The trickiest tie is after 6-7-3-7 in 3, when I must play one of my cards in 2, but they do not have a plus there. So I think I'm going to play that one, even though 5-7, 7-3, and 2 is probably the higher pressure version, because Delial is not going to make a mistake, and because I want to minimize the odds that I do something just horrendous. So we're going to play 5-7, 7-3, and 6, and we're going to get our tie. Just being overly careful here. 11, 10, 12, 13. Deli scares me, so overly careful for this Deli. Couple ways to tie here. And have a nice game. Hopefully we can get another one while we're here. This cuts off a winning streak of 6 for me. We started with 2 ties, then we won 6, so maybe we're going to be on a tie streak again, which is actually fairly likely given the opponents I'm likely to play next. You know, it's very hard to beat someone like Turds. And yeah. This is the kind of move that maybe makes him hungry, because 6-7-3-7 is so close to being a win, right? Because 3-8-5-5 is so close to sweeping my hand that it feels like there should be something there. But I do not think there is. And if there was, I'd feel really bad about myself, because I shouldn't be missing things this late. Yeah, very nicely played by Deli, per usual. He's a very tough player. He had a really bad hand, played a quite offbeat starter I would not have really considered. Yeah, Deli wanted me to go in 3. I did not want to go in 3. Oh, I mean, he means turn 1. Yeah, he does make a good case that all my 7s facing down would have been great for it. It is true. Yeah, it's a good point. Ooh, and I think actually I do have another game, but it's not going to be a GB game. It's going to be my weekly open tournament second round. So, once Deli moves and I reply in a ideally non-losing way, I'll go start a new video for that. But hopefully it was fun to watch a game between myself and Deli. I think his move in 7 was excellent. I think his his starter was creative. I think his move in 9 was precise. So very finely played from Deli with a bad hand. I, on the other hand, did almost nothing of interest, as is my wont. All right. We're gonna play which one? Let's play the dumber one in 2 and call it a day. Gotta make sure to post the game and end the video. Cheers.